first of all, just wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to talk about George Morris, a guy that's our FCA representative. A couple of days ago, his father passed away, and George has been very instrumental in the development of our players off the field. And he passed away in the morning, and he was at our team meeting in the afternoon, and I was kind of shocked as to why he was there. And George had shared with the team that the last words out of his father's mouth was to go tell the team to press on. And so George left and came and spent the last couple of days with the team, and we just awarded him the game ball. But just it's one of those games, one of those situations where sometimes behind the scenes you try to look for things that are motivating you or whatever. But it's a member of our football family that really just shares a lot of has been with us for a while, and to have a situation like that happen and him be with the team, I just wanted to pass that on to him. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family as they put his father in the ground. But it was an emotional last couple days here, and being able to play a good, hard, aggressive, physical game, which we kind of knew that was going to happen, and come out with a victory it makes it even more better. So I just wanted to open up with that.
Mike, this is 2 games in a row that the team has dominated the second half. What does that say about your players, do you think?
Hopefully, Jeff, through the just kind of the maturation process of being you're 10 games into the season now and having to execute the game plan, having to not make the same type of devastating mistakes that could cost you games. And so we were back and forth there a little bit, but particularly the second half, to see the guys come out and execute, and guys making plays and defensive coming up with the big interception. Those are the type of things that that you want to try to hang your hat on as an identity of what your team is about. And hopefully we continue to, as we try to continue to improve, we continue to do things that can help us win and minimize those things that that cause us to lose.
Light, 3 wins in a row now. I'm sure there are still areas that you'd like to see improvement from your guys, but do you feel like the team is rounding into form, so to speak, right now?
I think that, as I said, going into the 10th game of the season, that you want to see things improve, and you want to see guys step up and make plays. And I think what you see, you see some of that going on. Maximilian, Zachary Swanson, and that's a name that hadn't been called a lot, got in there and was able to block some of our power plays. So you're looking for the improvement, and I think it continues, to manifest itself. But at the same time, you're never satisfied, with some of the things you do, because you mental errors. I don't know how many penalties we had, this time, but we got to minimize, particularly the simple errors, things about lining up and motioning. Shouldn't have those type of things with some of our guys. But as far as the progress is concerned, I'm pleased with the progress. It's hard enough to win games, and when you have an opportunity compared to what went on last year, that to turn around and make some plays and win games, it makes it special with the players and the coaches.
There's the pass interference call on the goal line, and then you called timeout right after that. What was the goal of that timeout? The one on 4th down. They go for it on 4th down. Corey kind of reaches in. They call pass interference. You called timeout right after that.
I don't remember the sequence of that. I remember the pass interference. Again, you agree to disagree on things like that, and thought was very. Let's just put it this way: I disagreed with it, and set up an opportunity to keep the clock. To keep the ball in play for them, and you just have to look at the film later on and see if I may have been wrong and he may have been right. But again, at the time, I kind of disagreed with it. But we'll see. There are mechanisms in place to for calls like that. If there's a chain of command that you got to go through to get remedy to that. And I'm sorry, Mike, I'm drawing a blank on the timeout situation.
Were you peeking down the sideline, watching Chris run on his touchdown?
I was running with him. I was tippy-toeing down the sideline as he was going. He was gaining on me. Yeah, it's close when you have those plays like that then you have to, like the goal line play down there, and they make the call on the field, and then you have the video review, then it has to be conclusive evidence. And so unless you can magnify the camera certain degrees to see if he's, a millimeter of an inch touching the sideline or the ball's over or wasn't fumbled before. I mean, it's a tough job, that the officials have. You always want the calls to go in your favor, but sometimes it doesn't. But it was on that particular case, I think it showed enough that, looked like Chris was in, and we just, moved on from there.
At the end of the half, Chase was not in, I think, for the last 2 series. Looked to have something with his upper extremity injuries. Did you know the whole time that he would be available for the second half? And talk about his interception.
Yeah, he had some issues with the upper extremity issue, as you mentioned, and I think one of the things, the type of young man he is, very emotional player, a guy that really gets after it and studies the film, is that they ran a route that we've been anticipating, and he just sat on the route and broke and made the play, on the ball there. So it was a much added boost. I mean, obviously we needed all the points that we got. So, it was he watches film, he studies. We put him on today. We put him on number 2 for most of the day. He followed him everywhere he went. That was sort of the game plan a little bit to try to. I think because he was number 2, is like I think he's 3rd or 4th in the league with catches and then receptions. So very productive player. I don't know how many catches and yards that he had. He probably had a fairly decent amount, but I think 3 catches. Yeah. But that was part of the game plan to put Chase on him.
Coach, in the back here, looked at the post-game handshake. Cutcliffe said something to you. It looked like it irritated you a little bit. What went down there?
No, we just talked about how, kind of the guys got after and started, maybe too much talking a little bit from both sides and things like that. And, sometimes, as I told the players, you got to be careful about letting your emotions get to you. I mean, it's very emotional out there, and guys playing hard, and a lot of things at stake, a lot of things on the line. And, it was just, kind of an exchange about that. And that was that.
Looks like you guys obviously stopped the run today, but the passing game gave up 300-plus yards. Is there something that your defensive secondary, I mean, Minifield came in with all kind of accolades, and it's an experienced defensive secondary besides Nicholson. Is there something that you can point to as to why they're slipping up, I guess?
Well, absent of looking at the film and finding out, what it is specifically, I know they did complete a couple long balls. One of them was Steve Greer was having an equipment issue, and at the last minute ran out on a sideline, and his substitute ran in, and I don't know if the communication or whatever the coverage was, and it was just one of those one-play situations where they called the exact play that, maybe we didn't get the correct communication to him, and it went the distance. We'll, like I said, have to go back and just kind of, look at it. We've been fairly good at the, pass defense. This was a team that was very productive in their passing offense. I'll be able to tell you better, by tomorrow evening, have a chance to watch the tape.
Mike, Matt Conrath has been really disruptive inside recently. How much does his play have to do with the improved play of the defense in general?
I'd say, Jeff, it's a big part of when you can have your inside guys, taking up double teams and pushing the pocket and having enough height in there to affect the throw of a quarterback with his hands up. We saw the quarterback get hit a couple times out there. We knew that'd be part of it, what we'd have to do. Didn't know how many sacks, per se, how we could get to the quarterback, because they catch and throw the ball pretty well. But having a big body guy like Matt, who's experienced, who's strong, who's played in a lot of games, plugging up the middle right there, that helps tremendously.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Perry Jones punching in from the 1-yard line, and obviously his excitement probably getting a goal line touchdown, and then the play of him and Kevin Parks tonight and setting up the pass?
Yeah, you don't want a guy to go over the top like that and stick the ball out, because I've seen so many times about, particularly one-handed, so Perry just trying to make a play like he's done all season long with, there were a couple catches out there that he made some guys miss that were just, just that's who he is, that's what he does. But, his ability to run the ball along with Kevin Parks just provides just sort of a 1-2 punch that just, both young men are good players. You can see the production that they have. They can catch out of the backfield. We can motion them out and then go one-on-one with linebackers or safeties. And so we just try to use, all of Perry's abilities as much as possible. But he's definitely quite a player.
Also, in regard to Perry, you've seen him do a lot of different things this year for you guys. So you also had him in for a punt return tonight. Can you talk about the decision to insert him, and then it seemed like he had a pretty successful return there? Yeah,
just you want to make sure that we had opportunities to field the ball cleanly, and unfortunately, the ball touched. Nicky said it didn't touch him, but the ball, touched him on his foot there, and they had a chance to get to get points. It's just kind of like the first half was like one play, things that happened. The muff punt, turnaround, in the red zone they score. The Steve coming off the field that last second. And the long touchdown pass, so things like that in the first half, and we just knew that that's not what normally happens in a game. That if we came back the second half and knew that they were going to get the ball at the beginning, but if we came back and played the type of game that we could play, that we could be successful. But Perry is, like I said, Perry. They call him Superman. He can catch punts, kickoff return. He can block punts, and before you know it, you have him in on everything, and you just don't want to do that. But, again, I think it shows the type of skill and talent that he has to be able to catch punts.
Mike, you got 7 wins. You're bowl eligible. You broke that November streak last week. You break the Duke streak this week. I mean, kind of when you pull back and look at it, I mean, are you ahead of schedule a little bit here, or did you imagine all these things would be accomplished in this season, or did you think it might take a little more time before you got there?
We just wanted to play well. We wanted to improve upon last season. We wanted to improve, every game. And one of the things that, like I said, this program we're trying to attract some of the best men in the country in terms of having a chance to play, the school's reputation academically, having a chance to play on national TV, playing on TV again to see what type of team, the style that you have. And so the better we play, the better we execute, the better we recruit. The better we recruit, the better opportunities we have. So, and going into year 2, it's been rewarding, but at the same time, we're not done yet. We still got 2 games regular season to play. And I think if you just ask the players when you get a chance to talk to them, they're excited about the season and that their college experience is going to be a positive one.